Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Lone Star Radio on my mind. So won't you kick your feet up if you have a minute? Turn your radio dial to the Texas Ticket. Giving you the news and what's really in it. Come on, boys, let's
Welcome to the Texas Ticket. This is Armando, and I'm with Joshua Belland.
How are we doing today?
Did I say that right?
Yeah, no.
No,
It's okay.
Belland.
There we go.
And welcome to the show, Joshua. I'm glad you're here to help me out today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's my honor to be here.
What a pleasure. And the Ashes to Apex podcaster and the Chaos Theory digital owner of that group there.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Ashes to Apex is my podcast, and Chaos Theory Digital is my digital marketing company.
That's cool. And you're here to help us today a little bit with the show. And...
I am. Yeah, and I'm new to it. I'm a little nervous. I'm not sure exactly what to expect, but I'm here to support.
Well, you know, the Lone Star Community Radio is about serving and supporting local businesses in the city of Conroe and surrounding areas, and that's what we do here at the Texas Ticket Show.
Yeah.
And you can also help, and you know, we're all volunteers here, and you can help by liking, following, subscribing wherever you may be watching it. Just give it a listen, you know, and we appreciate y'all joining us today. We have a pretty exciting lineup. We've got the Forged in Fire History Channel's focused event. And I know it's not the same event, but the guys from the Forged in Fire show on the History Channel will be at the event. Yeah. And the owner of the event, or the organizer, is going to come fill in all the blanks for us.
I can't think of anything more exciting than forged blades.
Right. I got questions. I got lots of questions. I've been to a few of these, and what a cool cast. What a cool show. Lots of familiar faces from, you know, the silver screen. And, you know, can we even say that anymore? The TV screen, whatever. But you know what I mean? The folks from Forged in Fire come out there and judge these knives made by local participants and ongoing participants of the knife competition. And again, a lot of questions. He's going to come fill in the blanks for us. And that event is kicking off for us. It's the 8th annual Texas Custom Knife Show on November 8th and 9th, the Montgomery County Fairgrounds here in Conroe. We'll get in with him. But there's a lot of things going on coming up this weekend and the weekend, next weekend, and the holidays coming up. So many things that are here in the local area for folks to attend and go to. And here on the Texas Ticket, we wanted to feature focus a few of those here today and bring in some extra details by having the knife guy show up and tell us all about how that event works.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited because it looks like you can actually make your own knife, but we'll be able to ask questions when he gets here and see what that's all about.
All right, I want to play with all that. They get those big wax dummies and they cut them up.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff coming up. Again, the Texas Custom Knife 8th annual event is November 8th and 9th at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds, and he's going to give us a lot of details on that. But there is one event that I'm just hyper focused on. Everybody keeps asking me about. It's this the Balloon Glow and Laser Show. Wow. Right. And these are hot air balloons. I had to look. Balloon. What do we mean by balloons, right? How big are balloons?
Yeah.
Full size.
And then in what capacity are these lasers being utilized?
I know. Yeah, I got a ton of questions. It's Saturday, October 18th. It starts at 5 p.m. It's an evening event. It's going to be, and they've got the fairgrounds, the conference center, and that other back area. So it's just a huge canvas of, and I could see that that's necessary. Mm-hmm. But, you know, a little wind can change the dynamic there a lot on how high these balloons go up. And I know insurance is very difficult, and wind shear makes or breaks an event. So
absolutely. Yeah.
If it's windy, there is no event.
Yeah, right.
And anyway, October 18th, those tickets are almost sold out. And that was a couple of weeks ago when I looked at that. And that one's coming up at the Lone Star Convention and Expo Center and Fairgrounds. October 18th. So those tickets are on sale now. You can pick those up. But I'm really tuned up about that. And I know because everybody keeps asking me. They want to see what they're going to do. I mean, just think about if you had a white balloon or a black one you couldn't see at night. and it was like invisible, but the laser came off of it when you hit it.
Yeah, kind of like a tree obstacle course or a nighttime
Optical illusions all over in there. You could
Yeah.
totally play with that. I've seen some cool stuff done with lighting, and several others. And my friend Sheila Marshall is going to be over at Red Brick Tavern November 15th, and we're looking forward to getting her on the show. I don't know who isn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sheila Marshall's amazing. She's a great country singer, beautiful young lady, and she's got so much energy when she's on stage. It makes it exciting. I mean, I know some others that are more dinner appropriate musicians are exactly in tune with the environment, as it was, but you can't cage up her energy. You want to bottle it, but she's strong. She brings a great performance, a lot of energy to it, and she takes over she'll take over Red Brick Tavern. You know what I mean? It'll be her evening there rather than Red Brick with some background music.
It's going to be a lively show.
Yeah. Sheila Marshall, she'll be over at the Red Brick Tavern here in Conroe, Texas, on the Square on Simonton on November 15th. That show starts. I'm showing 9:30 p.m., but I definitely would start dinner about 8. I don't know if that's the starting time or not. But so tell us a little bit about Chaos Theory Digital. What is that?
Right. Yeah. So Chaos Theory Digital, we're an SEO. We're kind of focused on Google search traffic and helping build traffic for our clients' websites. So whatever capacity that is, we work a lot with small businesses. We work with law firms. We work with medical, and we work with various other types of clients. One of my favorite clients is a RV rental company that we service out here. But ultimately, it's all about lead gen and building a brand strategy for them so that they can grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and SEO tends to be a great way to build that traffic and automate that responses and get people's queries to find the business, right?
Right, absolutely. So if somebody's searching, RV rental near me, and our client's website pops up, they get a phone call and they close that deal. And it's ultimately it's probably the best direct response marketing that I can think of for lead generation. Simply because when somebody's searching for something, there's something we call intent. So if someone has the intent to find something, they're directly searching for it and they find it, the likelihood of them actually working with that business or going with them is high, because not only do people have the intent to find that service, but when you come up at the top, there's also merit to that. So people tend to associate the merit of a business with their rank on Google.
And they know that one that says sponsored next to it is one that
right.
In fact
it's like
is
an ad.
Yeah,
right. They haven't earned that, right?
It says that to me. I don't know if it says it to everybody who Googles or something,
right.
but one of the alternatives is really hard work, as we mentioned. Grinding on it.
Mm-hmm.
Just working it every single day and making it your center. It's kind of like having a push mower on 500 acres. It's by the time you finish, you got to start over again. It's a constant job.
When I first started, before I started SEO, I actually started a carpet cleaning company, and that's how I learned SEO.
Yeah.
So the whole deal was just a lot of hard work. It was a lot of grinding. It was a lot of trial and error. It takes years and years to master it, for sure.
Yeah, and it can be a valuable part of the company's success. There was a company years back. It was called Cambridge Analytic out of Europe, and they used to research what they would call a point. And a point you'd be looking for a dishwasher. That would be a point. So if I told you I wanted to find people who were looking for dishwashers, well, I could sell you the 1 point client base for your lead gen. But if you said I wanted a man who was looking for a dishwasher,
2 points.
2 points.
Right.
Yeah. I wanted a married man.
More data points, right?
Yeah. They claimed they could get 2,500 points on every 100 on every American.
Oh wow.
Well,
that's a lot of data points.
Yeah, it's outside the legal limits. I mean, I think that's more than your grandmother knows about you,
right?
But it's scary to think that they could.
Right. And they've been really cracking down in the EU for sure when it comes to privacy and I mean in the US we have a lot more flexible legislation when it comes to privacy data. In fact, I mean you can pretty much find out anything on anybody But I feel like they're leaning toward cracking down on that a little more.
They're changing my end user license agreement on a weekly basis.
Right.
It seems for something.
Yeah.
I get a request to update. They've updated their end
Right.
user, the EULA end user license agreement. Yeah, on a regular basis, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not reading that the fourth time this year that I've seen it. It's 18 pages long. The part where they made me scroll all the way through before I could click accept
Right.
was awfully concerning.
Hey, I've learned a little hack with that. You throw that into Chat GPT, and then you ask what questions you have, and it works fairly well.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. So you could cut and paste the whole thing, stick it in your Chat GPT, then ask it questions.
Right. Exactly.
There you go.
I did that with my lease agreement recently.
Fantastic. That's
Yeah.
that's a good point. I think that's invaluable, and I think that also brings credence to the hard work. If you're a smaller company and this isn't something in the budget, go as labor intensive as you need to.
I would say if you really don't have the budget for SEO and you're just trying to get exposure, but you also want to see improvement in Google, is find stuff you can do in the public. Any type of publicity is going to help your Google ranking. So if you speak at an event, speak at a chamber of commerce, a lot of times they'll mention you on their website. When they mention you, that's called a citation. So when you get that citation, it helps build you up in Google Maps.
Nice.
So constantly looking for opportunities to do that. Not only that, but when you have an opportunity, or there's something you can talk about that's newsworthy about your business, it could be something as simple as launching a new website. Do a press release.
Yeah.
And go to a press release distribution company and actually push that out. You can find them online, plenty out there, but those are all really helpful for small businesses.
On citations for a small business, how would they go about doing some simple ones?
Simple one. Oh, so if you want there are a couple different types of citations. Okay. So if you want to build some basic citations, go to the local directories, go to yelp.com, enter your information on that website. That's a structured citation. That's a citation that will help build you up. So there's going to be things like MapQuest. You can also submit to Apple Maps and City Search. There's a whole list of them. In fact, if you just do a quick Google search and say a list of local directories, you can get a big list of local directories and just submit it. Yeah, submit your business to all of them.
That's great advice. And it just shows more activity, more, I'm alive, I'm open, we're in business to accept business,
Exactly. What it shows Google is that you're a legit business.
Sure.
Yeah.
And how can they find you? What's your website?
My website is chaostheory.digital. That's chaostheory.digital, not .com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's a .digital. That's interesting.
Yeah. New TLDs.
Well, let's take a brief break, and then let's bring the guys from the Texas Custom Knife Show's 8th annual event into the studio. Let's interview those guys, see how they're pre-gaming and what kind of plans they have in store for the show goers, as well as how they've been preparing and doing some of their marketing to get butts in the seats. Yeah.
I'm excited.
All right, folks, we'll be right back after this with more of the Texas Ticket Show.
Lone Star Radio on my mind. So won't you keep
Car enthusiasts of Conroe, FM 104.5 and 106.1 Lone Star Community Radio invites you to shift into gear every Monday from 1 to 2 with Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy for news on all things automotive in the greater Houston-Conroe area. Can't make a live show? We've got you covered. You can find all of our uncut content, including full episodes on Spotify, iTunes, Play Store, YouTube, Facebook, and irlonestar.com. Again, that's Mondays 1 to 2, Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy. See you there.
Lone Star Radio on my mind. So won't you kick your feet up if you have a minute?
Welcome back to the Texas Ticket. This is Armando and Mr. Joshua Belland.
I'm right here.
I did it right.
Yeah, you got it right this time.
And here in the studio, we got with us today from the Texas Custom Knife Show's 8th annual upcoming event, November 8th and 9th, is Mr. Mike Thomas. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thank you. Glad to be here, guys. Appreciate it.
We're all really excited. Got a lot of questions.
Fire away. 1 through 100. Let's hear it. Let's get them all. There's a lot to talk about.
All right. So, favorite movie?
What is my favorite movie?
Favorite movie, yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going straight into the knife show. I wasn't prepared for a pop quiz. I'll go old school. I'm in that old school mood. Top Gun.
Top Gun.
I don't know.
Top
Just
Gun.
in that kind of a mood today. Go Maverick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
What about you? Top,
Fly High.
number one movie.
Oh man, too many to count.
Top action flick.
Oh,
Up there.
Die Hard.
Die Hard. Okay.
Mm.
Favorite Christmas movie.
Have a few laughs, meet
Yeah,
some friends.
yeah.
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. Come
Well,
out for Christmas.
well, the reason I ask is because, you know, a lot of these action movies tend to have iconic weapons used in them, from the medieval swords and
There's the tie-in.
the
There it
Rambo
is.
knife, you
Yep.
know,
Good call.
you know, a lot of real interesting weapons come from movie attractions or facsimiles and things like this, and that are typically used like at the Renaissance or in these kind of vendor markets where we find weapons they're usually in an image of. So when we go to a knife show like the one you're putting on, they're making their own weapons and things like that right there.
Little of both, not exactly. The knife makers that will be coming to our show are literally busy right now, and have been busy all summer long out in the summer heat where the forges get up to 120 degrees out there in those rooms. And they're knocking out product for other fall shows and for our show right now. Because any given beautiful handmade craftsman knife, custom knife, can take 5 to 25 hours per blade to make, to get the blade itself, the right length, the right edge on it. Obviously, just like any true craftsman, they're going back to the grinder over and over again to get the right edge, and then to get the handle to line up. And then it's all about the feel, the balance. These guys they're amazing craftsmen, but they're such perfectionists.
So they get to pre-make these weapons.
Okay, so most of what you see at the Texas Custom Knife Show obviously has all been pre-made. They're going to come and they'll each have their own table to display and to sell from. But from the start of this show back in 2018, when we started to create it and brainstorm it and put it together, I said to my partner then, the late Guy Harris, I said, this needs to be something different and more exciting than just a room with a sea full of tables, an ocean full of tables to walk around, like you would at a gun show.
Okay.
My past, I had put together sporting events, concerts around the country and around the world. So I was used to creating something of some excitement and something that was fun to come to and attend and something unique. So that was the idea from the very beginning. We wanted to create something that was fun to attend and fun to come to and get involved in. And so what we created then was the first ever Battle of the Blades, is what we call it now here. Mm-hmm. But it is a true simulation of the Forged in Fire contest.
That's awesome.
It's the only knife. There's dozens and dozens.
To the Forged in Fire show on the History Channel.
Correct.
And the last event, two back, I think, the 6th, was Doug Mercado, was the celebrity knife guy. I don't even know what to call him. Celebrity knife guy.
Judge from the show.
Judge from the show. And you've got some other special guests coming this year as well.
And Jay Nielsen, his partner and fellow judge from the show, is coming out. So this will be Jay's second time here. Doug came 3 years in a row, starting in 2022. Can't make it this year. Now that the show, the TV show, the History Channel show, is starting to wane and maybe reach its possible end, although we hate to see that. Sure. Millions of fans around the country and the world, we want to see it continue. But these guys are starting to get in some outside projects as well. Sure. So Doug's schedule, he's popular worldwide now. Wow. So his schedule just wouldn't allow.
Cool. It was a wonderful meet.
No,
what a cool opportunity to meet him.
It is.
Thank you for that. Thank you very much.
No, and come out and meet Jay. You'll be just as impressed with Jay this year. And one of the things that Jay will be doing when he's here, Jay Nielsen, Master Bladesmith, and of course Judge from Forged in Fire, he will be doing the dynamic judging of what we call the Battle of the Blades, which is the simulation of the contest on Forged in Fire. Again, we're the only show in the country that does this. And so what these guys, so what we allow the guys to do, we get 4 contestants, okay, and they actually just received their packets of steel and handle material in the mail this week. So here we are 2 months out from the show. They've already received their product to start making their own blades. So they have 35 35 hours, I believe, in their own forge. And this is kind of the honor system.
Mhm.
Okay. But they have up to 35 hours in their own forge to create their best blade, bring it to the show, hand deliver it, bring it with them to the show, check it in, and then Jay Nielsen will do dynamic testing for strength of the blade, sharpness of the blade, and then we'll actually do the kill test with the ballistic dummies.
So, based on, so I guess, do they all get the same material to work
Exact.
with?
The exact same.
material?
So
And
donate-
y'all package that up and y'all mail it.
Exactly. It was donated by one of our sponsors. Thank you, Texas Knife Steel. So they are exact identical packets of steel. My partner could go into a lot more detail. He's an actual knife maker, Jacob from Brave Hawk Forge. You've met Jake. He was a contestant on Forged in Fire and lives right here in Conroe. So he handles that. He's our blade boss, is what I call him. Everything steel and knife makers and contests, Jake handles all of that for us. He's amazing. So yes, they received identical packages, but then they get to create a blade of their own style and design within certain parameters. It has to be a certain length, not too small, not too large. The handle has to be a certain size and so forth, but then they can create whatever.
So now, do they have specific things to make? I mean, like, my shank, my stabbing knife, my cheese knife, my butter knife.
They can create a Bowie knife. They can create really any style of blade that they want.
Okay.
Again, just within those specific parameters.
So make the best
It'd be like
butter
giving
knife.
you a pile of groceries and Josh giving you a pile of groceries and saying you can make whatever cake you want or whatever dinner you want, but this is all you've got to work with.
Okay.
So it sounds like the judging is based more on the integrity of the blade. Do any points go to some creativity?
Not really. No, it's the judging is identical to what you see on the show.
Okay.
So it's based on strength, sharpness, and the kill test.
Okay.
Well, the kill test is that ballistic dummy, and then so who's doing the swipe, Jay?
Jay will do all of it. We will probably get a couple of our sponsors who are either military veterans to help a little bit, but Jay will do most of
The
it.
military veterans. We need a military guy who's not afraid to swing it.
They know how to use their weapons as well.
So, and tickets are on sale now. You can
Tickets
get
are on sale now.
seats.
TexasCustomKnifeShow.com. Great price, $14 for a one-day ticket
cool.
just to come in and enjoy the day. There are VIP passes available for $35. That's a 2-day ticket. Plus, you get an express pass to the front of the line for when Jay does his meet and greet, for pictures and autographs and things like that. So jump to the front of the line, just like at Disney or amusement park or whatever.
Cool.
So one thing that really interested me that I saw on the website was that you have this Make It and Take It program. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, thank you. So every year as we go around just like this and talk about the show to groups, chambers, sponsors, what we always hear every year is what is there to do? We've talked even so far in this conversation about what to see and what to watch, and there's a lot of cool stuff to see. But every year I hear those questions, what is there to do, right? And I think in society, in our culture, we want to be more interactive. We're a lot more experience-based. I don't know if that's a post-COVID thing or if that's just the way the world has become. There's so many, Comic Cons to go to and things you get to do and get involved in. So in that note, we really went back to the drawing board this year and said, how do we make the event more involved and more hands-on and interactive than ever before? So we actually have two unique things that we're adding this year. One is the Make It and Take It, where people can sign up. They can either pre-sign up on the website, and this is still under construction. The site's not ready to take these reservations yet, but it will be soon. Or they can come to the show and then go to the Make It and Take It booth. But yes, you can literally spend up to an hour one-on-one with a true bladesmith, with a knife maker. In fact, 3 of the 4, we're going to have 4 different bladesmiths on hand doing this all weekend. And I believe 3 of the 4 have been at the Dragon Forge experience at the Renaissance Festival. Mm-hmm. So we have Scott Mullins from Metal Brothers Customs, Elisha White, Eric Rivers from the Rivers Experience, and Neil Warren out of Lufkin.
Oh,
so
cool.
4 guys, mostly all Texans, who are going to be doing that all weekend long, where you can sign up, make a souvenir blade to take home. You're actually doing the quenching, the hammering, all very safety, managed as well. There's some protocol there to make sure no one gets injured with that.
And do you think
But,
some of these guys work that forge all year long?
They do, absolutely.
Well-
Because there are so many shows now. There are shows that start up in February and go all the way until like our show. It's one of the last of the year in November.
So I met
it's
a lot of the guys from the Renfest and recently with the Medieval Combat Federation coming to town who, they make and manage and work all their own armor, blades, and they're all always looking for forges. I think these folks need to get together, and one of the things they were telling me and expressing was most of their blacksmiths were from Ukraine, and that a lot of the metal repair, and it's an international group. So there was,
Sure.
I'm interviewing Team Denmark, so it might be regional or logistically, but I was always curious, like the San Jacinto Knights out of Houston and some of these other groups that have, teams of 15 guys in full body armor that need regular mending might be a good tie-in. I hope they're watching today. I hope they get a chance to. And they've been on the show a few times prior to that event coming up a month ago. And but what an interesting follow-up to something that's in that wheelhouse. I'm curious I'd love to meet some of those guys. And when can we meet them? And that's the opportunity that you were talking about.
It's one of the two things that we've added to the show this year. And by the way, we also moved the show across the parking lot. We're still at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds, but we've moved it into the exhibit halls.
Oh, cool.
So this is now a truly indoor experience. So obviously in November, the weather can do anything and everything all in one day for once. And we've been really blessed, except for one bad year when we were still outdoors, but the weather was bad. But yeah, we'll be completely indoors.
That's awesome.
So completely climate friendly,
Rain or
weatherproof, rain or shine, we're good to go. But the second thing we've added this year, and this comes to us from the Texas Knife Makers Guild. There's actually an association, the TKG, the Guild, for all Texas knife makers. They came up with a really cool idea. If you followed any of this type of television activity or this culture and these shows and things at all, you've seen blade sports where it's like an obstacle course based thing where you have a specific knife and you chop wood and you might slice tennis balls. And it was a timed event through a course. And we did that 2 or 3 years at our show. And it is exciting, but it's limiting to people that are trained, certified. It was fun to watch. Like I said, real exciting. There were prizes and things like that. But what the TKG decided to do, and since they're a partner and a sponsor of ours, we're doing this at our show. This is an everyman's course, truly using what in our world we call an EDC, which is an everyday carry knife. It's your pocket knife. Yeah. Okay, it's what you use if you're outdoors, if you want to sit on your porch and just whittle carve out a little something out of a stick. It's your everyday knife. Okay. So this is a course where that can be used. It'll still be multi-station. There'll be tables like the one we're sitting here at and several around. Timed event, but they're doing more simplistic type knife activities, whether it's splitting a straw, chopping through a popsicle stick. It's a little bit scaled down from the big chop a 2x4 kind of an event. But again, it's something that everyone can do. And we're actually going to have, tally the scores throughout the weekend, have a competition and award some prizes. So bring out your pocket knife and come on.
Now, when you say everyone can do it, is there like an age requirement? If I want to bring my 15-year-old son, am I good to go?
Yeah. I mean, there's some common sense there. And again, all safety rules are always applied when it comes to handling any kind of a blade or a knife. But we're actually in the process of reaching out to Boy Scouts to come and volunteer. I had all three of my boys were Boy Scouts, so I'm very partial and loyal to scouting, and I know how involved they are with pocket knives, right? That's an American icon kind of a thing. So yeah, a 15-year-old all the way down to, we haven't really set a minimum age limit. We're still actually ironing out some of these
Are there kid tickets for the
logistics.
event?
So actually 11 and under are free.
Okay. 11 and under.
11 and under are free. We also give, by the way, a 50% discount to active military or veterans and first responders.
There you go.
That we discount at the door, not in advance. We discount that at the door. But otherwise, tickets are on sale at TexasCustomKnifeShow.com.
Cool. And so would you think, when I get down in there and I was thinking about before that, previous thought that no matter where I go, people will look back and they look at me standing in the line and they say, well, I know one of you guys got a knife, and I'm always like,
Who, me?
I got the look that I'm carrying, I'm like, hey, so
You're a pretty rough looking fella.
I guess, he looks like
Kinda
he might have a
savage.
knife, but it was an interesting story just going on that really quick. And I do, and so those Denmark ladies, they can't carry guns in Denmark, right? It's illegal. The police officers don't carry guns either. They say some officials do, some, those type things, but general public's not allowed to have a gun of any kind for any reason. They're not allowed to have a knife to a certain extent, right? And then we had this conversation with them about that, and they said, I'm like, well, so we were talking about the weapons they use in medieval combat. She said she preferred a club. I'm like, oh, so you practice with a bat at home? And she said, we're not allowed to carry bats. Well, how do you play baseball? We don't. So, there's this huge perspective on how these things are, weapons are handled and mismanaged. And, I read the headlines as I was preparing for the Denmark team, and it said, knife crime is on the rise. And I was like, what an odd headline.
Yeah.
What an odd thing. So it just said that it was the people, not the weapon to me. It screams that. So if I put 100 people in a room and I gave them all a rock, I imagine one bad guy is going to throw a rock and hurt somebody else.
Odds are.
Rock crime is on the rise, and it's like, it is the people. And I think training and things like this, where you're familiar with something, how, you start out with your introduction to a weapon and you introduce them to safety first rather than second, which I'm sure some of these young men and Boy Scouts have been introduced to how to use their pocket knife, their Swiss Army knife, their ready carry country boy, on their back, or whatever they have, there are some degrees of safety that are just understood. But then there's these kids that are Greek, you put me in the kitchen to cut an onion and I'm going to cut myself.
But what a cool way to just to teach knife safety to your son, or just to go with a buddy or a friend, or just something to do. Not only do you get exposed to something that's exciting and cool, something you can do that's hands-on, but you get to learn about it. You get to learn all about this craft. And I just think it's a great deal. How exactly did you get started with this show? You're on your eighth one, right? So
this is year 8. This is our 8th show. Yeah, like I said, I really completely fortuitous, just by chance, crossed paths with Guy Harris, who we lost a few years ago, unfortunately. But Guy was one of the very first contestants and first episode champions.
Really?
On Forged and Fired. He lived right here in the Woodlands. So we met. I was doing another volunteer project. He actually donated a knife to a charity event that I was putting together, and he came back a couple of weeks later and he says, "So you know how to put events together?" And he didn't know I'd been doing concerts and sporting events for 20 years. But he's like, yeah, I can. So one idea, and one conversation led to another. And he said, well, hey, there's actually a bunch of us around here who've been on the show, and, a lot of other knife makers. And we'd like to kind of just get together and do this. These knife shows are starting to pop up around the country, and we'd like to do one here. Obviously, this is cool. Texas and the Houston area. And it just kind of took off from there. And like I said a minute ago, my only stipulation was, if we're going to do it, it's got to be a little bit different. It's got to have a twist on it that's fun and exciting. But I think as this show has continued to grow, and that first year, guys, that first year wasn't much bigger than a backyard barbecue. We got a few guys together, got a crowd out, and it's just continued to grow. And around the country, and we've drawn knife makers literally from New York and from California.
That's right, yeah.
We draw knife makers from coast to coast. We draw national industry sponsors. Broadbeck, Ironworks is out of Pennsylvania. Jantz is one of the biggest knife maker suppliers in the country. They're out of Oklahoma. Ballistic Dummy Lab is out of Georgia. And they're one of our biggest supporters every year. So we draw national attention and a national crowd. And around the country, it is known truly as the Conroe Show.
I
That's
think
what they
the
call it.
Slow motion
Yeah.
cuts. Anything in slow motion. The whole Marcata moving in slow motion, cutting those ballistic dummies.
It's one of the most exciting shows.
Can you slow
and
that
visually-
down about 100 times?
But you know what's really neat about it, and this is what has stuck with me, getting to know this crowd, these knife makers and the people in the industry. There's some of the, we've all met amazing people in what we do, whether it's music industry or any kind of, you meet amazing, but these are just the most down to earth, fun loving, just good old boys and girls. But what's really, really neat about this show every year, I help out at the front gate a lot, with the ticketing and admissions and all that kind of stuff. And what's really, really rewarding to me is as people have come in, and obviously guys bring their girlfriends and wives, and ladies will bring their dads out, and there are a lot of non-knife vendors, by the way. We have arts and crafts and
So you're
jewelry
taking
and leather.
vendors. That was one of my other questions.
We always have a great shopping market of non-knife vendors, and it's right before the holiday season. So we have, like I said, arts and crafts and fall decoration and holiday
What's the
decorations.
booth size? Do you know?
10 by 10.
10 by 10.
Yeah, and all that information's on the website as well, TexasCustomKnifeShow.com. Sign-ups and information and all of that. But as folks have made the rounds and been there for 3-4 hours and seen what they want to see, and they're walking back out, what it's really, really cool is to always hear that plus one that came along with somebody else. It's like, okay, I didn't know if I was going to have a good time. I came here for you, husband, dad, or whatever,
The market was cool.
And like, this was really cool. This was different. And now there's more to do than ever before.
That's so cool.
Right. And there's always a lot to see. And so everybody, it's extremely family friendly. And it's just one of the most fun things to ever do.
I love the idea of bringing respect to the blade, respect to its design and construction, people who take it seriously and can bring that impression, whether or not it's the one I walk away with. There's that sense of, it's a weapon. It's if other people take it serious, so can I.
It takes us back to our ancestors and our roots. This is one of the oldest still living crafts and tools. I mean, this skill goes back thousands of years, right? Obviously, it's evolved into a beautiful form today with the tools and everything available. They didn't have grinders and all of the hammer products and the quality of steel back then, but this goes back thousands of years.
So
I've read.
Hey, wait a minute. What about speaking of? What about that meteorite sword that King Tut had? Is that a real thing? You know what I'm talking about? No?
Armando, what are you talking about?
King Tut's tomb was found with a sword that was made from a meteorite.
Delivered by the Anunnaki, right?
Well, no, that's speculative, but it was found in the tomb. It's historically accurate.
I would love for you to put together a small research project on this and come present it at the show.
I'll send you Joe Rogan's link.
Today's history lesson brought to you by Armando.
It's crazy that they forged it out of different things. And you think about, I see guys on YouTube doing out of rolls of coins and paper clips and then making Damascus blades out of other things and using different stuff. Tell me a little bit about the contents in that box.
Yeah, I mean, so it's multiple layers of steel, which again they can turn it into a Damascus style if they want, or they can use it with a little more of a pure steel design. And we get a variety, and that's really what's always cool to see is these guys really
No shockers though. It's not
They
you're
can't
not
put
going to
their-
open the box going, "Oh my gosh, copper."
Yeah, I know. No, I think it's 3 different qualities of types of steel. So the different density and thickness to work with. Okay. Some guys will make it Damascus. Some guys won't. Like I said, it's their creativity, their imagination.
Seen so many cool kitchen blades, and lately that were like the one use blade. And
we get kukris. We get guys bringing in the buoys. It's a variety. If you look at and you can go back and look at the website and the 4 blades that were made last year. I mean, they're similar, but they're different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
really cool.
I briefly touched on the question of what other kinds of weapons will they bring, and I guess on their for sale table they can bring anything they've ever made, right?
Right, exactly. Some guys will make self-defense type of tools and items. Some designed for very small and simple conceal, like even maybe for ladies in their purses. Okay. My girlfriend carries one for defense, so a small concealed item, all the way up to something that's
more Rambo-ish.
Certainly the Rambo-ish, the big, hefty kind of stuff. And some of it's that's designed to be designer and custom and not necessarily functional, but more for a collector.
Yeah.
And very artistic. In
the
fact, we
throwing
have,
stuff.
we have 6 different, and we added one, so I think there's 7 different best of show categories that our judges vote on.
Okay.
That the knife makers can turn in the night before the show. This is the Friday night. This is private, but they can turn in different blades to different categories. So one's a folding blade, one's an everyday carry blade. We have a category for buoys. We had a category for kitchen.
What's a buoy?
We added this year.
Like a Bowie knife? Like
Yeah, Bowie knife.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I got it.
Yeah, exactly. This year we added the category for artistic design, and we added a category, for kind of like what you're talking about, the Rambo, something large and cumbersome and aggressive and a little savage looking and a little wild. If somebody really wants to make something kind of out of the ordinary and bigger than the norm,
Yeah.
we're actually going to judge that. And then we'll have an overall fan favorite where the fans can come to the show and vote for their favorite. So we'll have an overall fan favorite best in show category too.
Do they do the like the tannery and do little cases and sheaths? Do they get into
you'll
that
find
too?
leather workers, and obviously a lot of the blades have both.
Sweet.
A lot of that have both. Another cool thing that we do at the show is a lot of these guys were contestants on Forged in Fire, and some were semifinalists. Some made it to the final round,
Okay.
but didn't win that episode. They came as a close runner-up. They were in the final round. So they got to come back to their forge, spend 35 hours, and make a giant weapon, take it back, and get judged. We have several of those guys, and the deal is with the History Channel, if you win, you get a big old check, okay, as the winner of your episode. But if you don't, you actually get to keep that, because if you win, you forfeit your winning blade. So there's somewhere in New York,
With all the winning blades.
there's a warehouse full of all that stuff. I don't know what they're going to do with it. But if not, you get to actually keep your blade. So those guys like to bring, and we have a little a supervised,
The showcase.
gated, well, not gated, but a secured tent that we call the Forged and Fire Museum.
Now we're cooking.
So you can visit through there, and it's kind of a show and tell. And then all the guys bring the blades up on stage on Sunday, and we do a parade of blades. It's a big old show and tell, is what it is, and it's a lot of fun. They can tell the stories about making it. So
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. I am way excited about this show.
Wait,
what else you got?
yeah. Do you have are there still signups available for vendors that want?
So vendors can sign up. There's actually still room. These exhibit halls are large, so there's room for knife makers if there's a knife maker that's listening. We just don't allow anything that is either made out of the country or bought and then resold. So it's all going to be handcrafted. Okay.
Are there any particular laws around the types of blades you can carry out of the show or anything like that? I'm not really familiar. Just curious.
We have a lot of security out there. Let me just throw that out there right up front. So thank you to the Montgomery County Sheriffs and everyone else that's involved in helping with that. Even the Texas Militia comes and helps and volunteers and secures things a little bit.
Nice.
So not any really,
Very safe show.
not any true laws or regulations, but there's no fun stuff, no funny stuff going on. And we've never had a single incident. Again, this is all about the respect and the culture of
At the
what
Run
this is.
Fest,
So.
when I purchased a blade, it's zip tied to the sheath, so you can't be whipping it out a real blade and just swinging around. So and as of late, the last probably 5 or 6 seasons, we've covered it. The last 20 seasons, they just recently, last maybe 5, like I said, 6 or 6 seasons or so, they strap it down so you can't unstrap it. Kind of like it's bound until you leave the park.
Yep, no, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
So-
and that's just with the big old full-fledged sword, because the first thing you want to do is have a pretend sword.
Well, it's a
fight in the
different
middle of a
atmosphere
crowd.
there. It's a different
And
atmosphere.
there's people all
I
around you, and
understand,
you're swinging
yeah.
a weapon. You're role playing, not watching a show. It's
No,
that's
this-
a little different.
This is about the respect, and it's just a different environment. So
No, I love that, and that professional tone throughout the event. Everywhere I went, it was like it was a different level of respect for the weapon, and it brings a lot of understanding on how to handle and deal with it, and you take that with you. I mean, you really do. I mean, once you figure out how serious this game is, you start to understand it.
Well, from the disclaimers we have walking in the door to the disclaimers and the waiver you sign at there's tomahawk throwing. We have tomahawk throwing, so there's waivers and and precautions there. And then we even have one of our knife makers, and he's quite serious, even though it's kind of a joke. It's kind of a running joke and it's funny, but he'll set a box of Band-Aids out on his table, and he says, "Look, there's a sign that says looking at the knives is free, Band-Aids are $5 a piece.
Nice.
That's hilarious.
That is funny.
So we're not playing here. Safety first. So the show's November 8th and 9th. We haven't dropped the dates very often. It's the 8th and 9th right here in Conroe at the fairgrounds. Great questions, guys. What else can I tell you?
There's supposed to be a charity auction.
Thank
as
you.
well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we always wanted to include a charitable piece from the very beginning so we can give back. My partner, Jake Sewell with Brave Hawk Forge, is a veteran. And so we've partnered 7 out of the 8 years now with a veteran-based organization. This is the 6th year that we've partnered with Operation Red Wings Foundation. Just an amazing organization right here, based out of Huntsville, but does a lot of fantastic work around Texas and here in Montgomery County. Operation Red Wings exists to serve the mission to help and provide treatment to our veterans who are dealing with the post duty PTSD
Yes,
and
sir.
and some of the other
Okay.
silent enemies of war and post duty. So they do serve families as well, but they definitely provide treatment. We love helping them raise funds every year. So we do a live auction and a silent auction.
Okay.
The blades that are made for the Battle of Blades that we were talking about, all of those blades immediately after judging are auctioned off live.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
great. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, in
and,
fact,
and you
I
got
believe-
everybody in the mood of buying one anyway. It's
I mean,
perfect.
you've watched it demonstrated and used.
Yeah.
It literally has the fake blood. Can I say that, Nick? Can I say that? Okay.
Fake.
Fake, not real. Coloring from the ballistic dummies, literally still on there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then we can get the maker to autograph it. Jay Nielsen will autograph it. We've done some cool stuff like that. But again, it's about being able to take care of them. Thank you for bringing that up. There's so many layers to this event. Thank you for bringing
Absolutely.
that up.
So the Texas Custom Knife Show's 8th annual event is November 8th and 9th at the Montgomery County. There at the
Montgomery County Fairgrounds.
fairgrounds.
Yeah, and it's amazing the way this community's continued to support this event and not just help it grow, but make sure it grows. We have Astro Fence has been a sponsor since day one. We have a lot of local sponsors who really stepped up and helped us.
Master Fence member of the Conroe Chamber of Commerce, good friends of ours.
Yep,
all been
absolutely.
On the show. What a wonderful group.
Franken Garage, veteran-owned business, the Houston area veteran-owned business Chamber of Commerce is another one.
Oh, it's nice.
They're right here. They'll be well represented from a lot of their members. So yeah,
And you can member 11 and under is free. Veterans and first responders at the gate, 50% off. You can buy your adult tickets at TexasCustomKnifeShow.com for this two-day event,
Mhm.
8th and the 9th. And vendors are still welcome. You can get that information on a 10x10 booth, and you can get in there and hang out the whole time. I don't need a ticket if I'm a vendor, right?
if you buy a booth, then you will get tickets. So
Yes.
buy your booth, brother. Buy your booth.
There
So
you go.
You
There
get your
go.
tickets and more. So City of Conroe is one of our biggest sponsors, and United Constructors, their construction company, is another one of our local sponsors. Got to give some love to them. But as a vendor, you're already your way is paid because you're there to represent.
Knew there was a back
promote.
door.
Yeah.
Bada buy a booth. You can set up bada bing, bada booth. Awesome. Well, we'll look forward to buying some tickets and seeing you at TexasCustomKnifeShow.com and get your tickets again there the 8th and 9th.
We have more cool stuff coming as well that we haven't
What do you got
announced
coming?
yet. I can't even tease it yet. There's more cool stuff. So please follow our social media.
Okay.
Facebook, Instagram, obviously the website, but follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
What's the Facebook?
TexasCustomKnifeShow.com. And
Or
thank you to
Facebook,
our,
Texas
we have a
Custom
new
Knife
digital
Show.
marketing team also that we met through the chamber. Social Concept, Natasha and Haley have done a fabulous job. I just want to give a shout out and thank you to them because they've handled our digital media this year and just doing a killer job.
Yeah, we both saw you online just a little while ago, didn't we?
Absolutely.
We
That's where I got all my
yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
They were good. I guess
Yeah.
we're putting some of the right information out.
Right.
So.
You are, and I hope for a great crowd. I hope y'all are blessed with the wonderful weather, and I know that's not indicative of how the event's going to go. But when the sun's shining, I'm more likely to go anywhere, any roof or no roof. But I am glad it's indoor and not necessarily weather affected, and it should be rain or shine event. And but I'm looking forward to having a good time. I really am. I'm excited about this year's event. really, I'm looking forward to meeting Jay and the rest of the guys over there and seeing some of the new stuff because it's been a little while, so I missed a couple, but I'm eager to get back over there, and I'm looking forward to November 8th. Follow up with us. We'll follow you online. We'll share your links below.
Follow and share, and appreciate you letting me come onto your show.
It's awesome.
I would love to have you on my show
One
of these days.
Local sports.
Well, thank you to Lone Star Community Radio. Obviously, we're just launching a brand new show called MoCo, Sideline Sports Show. It is completely and totally about our county's high school sports teams.
So awesome.
Just
So
want
many
to
great
promote
stuff.
the amazing things that the players and the athletes, the coaches, and people behind the scenes are doing. So many great stories. We've had several great interviews already. We've got our first full episode is coming up. This thing's brand new, but the fall sports season is just kicking off, and it's really been well received. And we've got some great shows coming up.
I don't know if you know who you're talking to right now, but Montgomery High School, class of 90. 89 was district champions for Montgomery High School, 2.5A school.
What event? What did you?
Football. Yeah.
I did not know
Our
that.
current sitting district attorney, Brett Legan, was our quarterback.
This just gets more and more
He
interesting.
was throwing touchdowns at Sam Houston
Well,
State
that's
for
I
our
know where.
regionals.
When you visit the show, I know where the conversation's going to start.
You gotta get
We're
Brett
gonna
on the show.
reminisce.
You gotta
right?
get Brett on the show.
Let's do it.
He'd be a great.
Let's do
we drag him down, but every time he calls, like what? Nothing.
That's a great idea for a show.
Like, quit calling here. Quit calling me. But I think he'd be a
We're
great
gonna
ad.
talk
and,
about the old days.
There's
for
a
sure.
lot of those guys, a lot of those Bundys with 5 TDs in their high school year, that
Yeah.
you're going to get on the show. And I'm looking forward to that too. Lake Creek's got a lot of the softball. We got a lot of fishing. Willis is doing some great things as well. Connor, you got your work
football.
cut
We've
out.
got a 2-time defending volleyball state champion right here in the county. I mean, there's no end to the stories and teams and achievements of what's going on. So it's going to be a fun
Are
program.
you going to reach into any of the 4-H stuff or any of that kind of competitions? I guess it's not really a sporting event, is it?
I mean, hey, I'm a country boy.
Rodeo.
I grew up on a farm, so 4-H and FFA.
Mutton riding, is that a sport?
Mutton busting.
Mutton
Mutton
busting.
busting.
Is that sport worthy?
If that's a sport, we're going to talk about it.
It's not high
So,
school or collegiate, but it's youth. I mean, not going to
Maybe
get
in rodeo
NCAA
season. Hey.
mutton riding competition.
maybe in rodeo season, maybe in the spring.
Well, we'll be right back, folks, after this with more of the Texas Ticket and the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show right after this.
Lone Star Radio.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gold Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas Ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket.
Welcome back to the Texas Ticket.
Lone Star
It's Armando.
Radio.
And this is Josh.
This is the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show. You can punch it. And these are just little events that might make you a little more Texan, or they're just local for a Texan to go to here in our area, things that might be fun. And, there are some things you can do, even if you're not a born Texan, to make you more Texan. You go to a lot of night shows, you might be a little more Texan. I'm just saying.
Might. Yeah, you just might.
And these guys are from all over the world, but the Texas Custom Knife Show is happening. Its 8th annual event is November 8th and 9th. The folks we've been chatting with here in the studio. You can catch them at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds November 8th and 9th, and you can see that at the TexasCustomKnifeShow.com. Tickets are on sale there. Also, we mentioned earlier, Sheila Marshall will be at Red Brick Tavern November 15th at 9:30 p.m. The Balloon and Laser Show, that's coming up. Everybody's excited about this thing. It's the whole fairgrounds. Again, it has to be weather orientated unless they're just tied down. There are some variants there, but the tickets are on sale now, and the show is Saturday, October 18th at 5 p.m. It's a night show. Lasers, balloons, all kinds of stuff. The Cynthia Mitchell Woodlands Pavilion is turning into Little Wood Forest this year. They're doing a family-friendly, kid-sized music festival, hands-on activities presented by Texas Children's Hospital in the Woodlands. That's November 8th from 10 to 5 p.m. and November 9th from noon to 5. And This is epic. I mean, there is so much stuff going on down there for kids, and 50 to 90% of it's free. There are very few pay items you have to pay to play, but the most of it will be a fun afternoon at the Cynthia Mitchell Woods Pavilion for everyone. The facility at Cynthia Mitchell seats about 15.5, and that's important because the Cooner and the Cowboy, and that's Leon Bridges and Crockett. They're going to both be at the event, and it is Charlie Crockett. Charlie Crockett,
Yep.
and he's performed before here at the Heritage Park for one of the free concerts during the Conroe Americana Music Festival, and that was about 7-8 years ago. He performed here in Conroe for a free live stage at Heritage Park, and he's going to be at the Cynthia Mitchell Woods Pavilion working with Leon Bridges, who did Texas Sun and a few other Texas songs, and a real Texas-based artist. And this is a premiere event, a premiere show over at the Cynthia Mitchell Woods Pavilion. You can catch that, and it's on their calendar. But at the same time, be sure to get the kids out. They can go to the Cynthia Mitchell Woods Pavilion, Littlewood Forest this year. And that's one of their key events for children over there. The 2025 Cajun Catfish Festival, Tyler Trantham, Jesse Robb Jr., Aaron Watson, and more. There's a whole host. Raylene Gale is on Saturday, October 11th. On the 10th, you'll see Aaron Watson, Jesse Robb Jr., and Tyler Trantham. Southern Star Brewery now has a full kitchen.
Oh, really?
The brewery right here in Conroe now, full kitchen, and their food looks amazing. We're
Wow.
going to go down there and visit them this weekend and go check all that out and have a guys' day down there and just
Can't wait.
yeah, I'm trying everything on that menu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're
100%.
going to cover our plate. I've seen it. It looks fantastic, and they're really proud of the food. They're dying to get us to come out and try it. That's happening, and they've already started serving that over at Sunstar Brewery. So you can come get a beer and some good eats these days. The Guadalajara's here in Conroe, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. has a happy hour free buffet.
And it's delicious.
3 to 6. Free.
Yeah.
Just go in there and get free food. You got to drink a beer or two, I think, but I mean, who's not going to have a beer with dinner? Or you can have like 15 sodas and I think they'll let you, I don't know. You got to ask Harry. Anyway, they're right here downtown Conroe on the square. They moved from 1097 out here to downtown Conroe on the square where they're located just right down the street from the studio here at City Hall, downtown Conroe. Also, moving on, Street Eats Truck Festival at Candy Cane Park. That's September 27th, and I know a lot of folks are going out to that because there's like 15 food trucks, 20 food trucks going to be out there. That's reoccurring. It's happened a few times. September 27th is also Foss Oktoberfest. Now, I know it's pre-October, but the 27th, they take the street, they close the road, it's packed, it does really well. The Weenie Dog Races, Stein Hoisting, Homebrewed Brass Band, and Leaders of Lager. Leaders of Lager. So lots of good stuff, German foods and whatnot. That'll all be coming on September 27th, 11 to 8 p.m. right here at Foss Oktoberfest, downtown Conroe at 236 North Main Street. Woo! Monthly Artisan Market, Grand Central Park Conroe has a free event on once a month. I think it's the first Friday or Saturday. It's October 4th. From 9 to 1 at Grand Central Park Conroe at the Lake House at 1039 Lake House Drive. That's a free event. And most of these artisan markets you can catch the one downtown Conroe every Saturday, downtown Conroe here on Main Street at 301 North Main Street. Saturdays reoccurring is the Main Street Market, downtown Conroe. Montgomery Farmers Market is at the KOA Campground, montgomeryfarmersmarket.com. You can catch that every Saturday, 9 to 12 at the KOA Campgrounds. We'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. I'd like to thank you for coming to play with us. And
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
glad you were here. And I'd like to thank Mike, he's not here, and Lone Star Community Radio for putting this show on. And all of our friends and supporters and businesses that have helped us and appeared on the show. If you'd like to appear on the show, please give us reach below. You can send a message directly to us on our YouTube or Facebook, or directly to Lone Star Community Radio to appear on any one of our programs. There are 20 plus shows on the station that are all eager to find guests that are best suited for their programming. Please reach out to the station. They'll get you all set up and get you out to come visit with us on some of our programs. Until then, we'll see you next week on the Texas Ticket Show.
Lone Star Radio.